For our audience, if you haven't seen the body of Dr. Schneider's work, it's pretty impressive, and he's written a number of really powerful works. I think not least of which is on the polarized mind. You and I had the pleasure of talking through that book a few years back, as you recall. And in my introduction today, I spent some time talking about our country's polarization, noting my own journey in trying to do better in this space. And given your work in this area, and I know it's kind of a hard shift away from just the kind of very esoteric but incredible stuff you were just talking about. But we're in really strange times, Kirk. And if you could talk about about the book, The Polarized Mind, what it entails, and what are the promises and pitfalls ahead? How does humanistic psychology flow in and out of this as you see it? So I appreciate your willingness to kind of shift a bit in this way.
Well, I was really trying to get at the roots of what drives people toward extremes, malignant extremes, destructive extremes, which I call the polarized mind. And I was drawing from all kinds of research, mainly existential depth psychology, but also anthropology, sociology, some writings about religion and spirituality. And through that immersion and through my own my personal experience with some difficult people, I grew up in a very mixed neighborhood. We were the only Jewish family in the neighborhood. Had a lot of wonderful experiences with the kids, but also some rather unsettling experiences. But anyway, that aside, drawing from all this, so I came up with what I thought was a pretty good phenomenological definition of the polarized mind, and that is that it's the fixation on a single point of view to the utter exclusion of competing points of view. And I think that definition really covers a lot of what we call individual psychopathology, from anxiety, depression, obsessive compulsion, drugs that sedate, being polarized in the contrasting direction, sociopathy, narcissism, speed, etc. The problem of not being able to deal with a feeling of insignificance. My sense is that the polarized mind and extremist behavior and experience is fear-based. It's defensive in many ways. And it basically has to do with doing everything one can to avoid the sense of smallness, helplessness, and ultimately being wiped away. I mean, what the terror management theorists would call death anxiety.